Hey guys, Alan Kiesel here, and for everybody that got bonuses in the course and they got the new funnels that I've put in here, they're asking me how they can get them into ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels is a tool that you can use to create landing pages and websites, and is pretty much, you don't have to have any technical skills to do it. You can just go into ClickFunnels and start moving a couple things around, add an image here, click a few buttons, which I'm going to show you, and have a landing page up and running very, very quickly, and also generating leads and getting leads sent to you. So there's a lot of great things, and the reason why I use ClickFunnels over most of them, or even though I have a technical background, still use ClickFunnels in order to get things done very quickly. So let's hop into the course. So if you're in the course, you're going to see this little bonuses section here on the bottom left, right? It has my case study application funnel. That is one funnel that I have made over $100,000 using. And this is my insurance lead generation funnel. Since we have a lot of insurance agents using this course right now, I decided to put one of the funnels that I've used for my clients over the years that have worked really, really well and helped me generate thousands of leads for a lot of my clients. I'm giving that one to you inside this course, inside of these bonuses. You'll also see under here you have that winning ads cheat sheet, so definitely take a look at that. That has tons of ads I've used over the years that have been very successful as well. So you can see here I've pretty much given you everything that you need in order to get going. You have your course lessons, you have some funnels that you can use that you can easily modify, and you have your winning ads cheat sheet, so you don't have to come up with ads on your own. All right, so when you click on this insurance lead generation funnel, you'll see a little preview of it here. The funnel works well for lead generation campaigns. I've used it for all different types of insurance, health insurance, final expense insurance, you name it, I've used it for it, and it works very well. The exact format, just change the text around, change your logo, change the questions if you want to, obviously based on the type of insurance that you're looking to get leads for, and you'll have this thing up and running pretty quickly. There's also some recommended tools, Calendly, which I use if you've booked a call with me in the past. It just makes it so it hooks into your calendar. You can put a form right on the website here. So after they fill out the form, you can have them book a call with you. It'll put it right on your calendar, send out reminders. It's a really cool tool. I definitely recommend you use it, and I'll talk about that in another lesson. And also Zoom. Zoom is a live chat software that you can use to communicate if you want. It automatically hooks into Zoom as well. It's what I use, so you can have screen shares if you need to. It sets up conference calls, so they can just call in and it'll automatically create those for you. So Zoom is a great tool to use as well, which I will go into in another lesson. But for now, I really want to teach you how to get this funnel that I've given you into your own ClickFunnels account and have it up and running inside of about a half an hour. All right, so we're going to click this link right here. When you go over to ClickFunnels, it's going to take you to the ClickFunnels page, and it's going to have you sign up for a free 14-day trial. This is really cool because you'll at least get to do everything you need to do and get it up and running before you even have to pay for it. Again, I have a development background. I can develop pretty much any website out there, and I still use ClickFunnels for all of my landing pages and my funnels just because it is so easy. There are so many templates that you can use, and it's just really, really a great tool. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that use it, and I'm sure they could build their own websites if they wanted to. So there's obviously a reason for it. So you can see here, if you go down, you have a little bit of a preview, a little hard to see, but if you hop over each one, you'll see the steps. So these are the steps that are inside of it, and I'll show you once we get in there more about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop into my account, but what you're going to do is obviously enter your email address, your password here, start your free 14-day trial. There might be a couple other questions, and then you'll end up pretty much in the same spot that I'm going to jump into. All right, so once you have your account created, you're probably going to end up on a screen that looks like this. It changes often, so it's going to be similar in some way. So you can hit forget, which will obviously say forget what I was doing, or you can add the funnel. And if you click add funnel, it is going to add this exact funnel right into your account. So then you'll hop into a page that looks like this. And up here you can see you have your funnel. So any contacts, any leads that you're generating as your funnels are running and people are filling out your forms, they're going to be here. If you're trying to generate sales for anything, maybe an upcoming event, you'll see your sales in one place. Funnel marketplace, this is if you're looking to get new funnels, right? So you want to have a new funnel and you want to see what other people are selling. People that have made millions of dollars selling funnels, they actually put their funnels up there, and you can buy those for a price usually about $97 or something like that. And then if you want to build a funnel from scratch, which is really, really cool, which we're going to go into in another episode, since we're right now focusing on this exact funnel, but there's going to be different options. So if you want to do different types, whether it's a case study funnel or it's just a lead magnet funnel or just anything that you're looking to do, there's a lot of pre-built ones that you can do and pick from 50 different templates or more, which is really, really cool to get you up and running quickly. So we're just going to click on add funnel. Now I do already have this in my account, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show you. So you'll see right here you have your shared funnels being processed. This tab up here is all your funnels. These are your recent funnels, archived funnels. If you have funnels you're not using them anymore, they'll go there. And then again, marketplace if you want to buy some funnels. So that's pretty much it. It was that quick. So we click that button. You'll see it's now in your account, and you can click on View Funnel right here. And this is your funnel section. So when you click on a funnel and you go to your list and you click on it, this is the main area that you'll be in when you're working on your funnels. So what you have over here is you have the title up here on the top left. You have a few tabs up here, your steps. These are your steps in your funnel. So your landing page, the page they go to after, if you have a thank you page, which you'll see here that we have that on the third step. Your stats, so you can see how well they're doing. If you want to test different landing pages or different copy against each other, you can actually go into this section here and see which one's actually doing better, what rates you're getting and things like that, which I'll show you. And then you'll have contacts here. So these are your contacts. Again, if you're getting leads, they're already going to be in here. You can also have them emailed to you and do 100 different things with them, but you can always go back here to get them. You can see what ads they came in on. Really, really cool. And then your settings. So these are the actual funnel settings. So you can name your funnel. When it comes in, it's going to look like this. I definitely recommend changing that. The path, this is going to be the part of the URL after your domain. So, you obviously probably don't want to say insurance lead generation. You want to name it something like opt-in or application or something like that. So it's not, too spammy looking, and they don't think they're just generating information out there because you're a lead gen form. The group tags, these are just things which we'll go over into other sections, right? So you can add your domain in here. If you want to get a new domain and put it here that it's going to show for this funnel, we can do that as well. You're going to have your SMTP configuration. So what that means is pretty much when emails go out, ClickFunnels is going to give you a certain amount of emails per month and per day. I forgot exactly what the limit is, but it's about 100 emails per day. I knew I blew past that. So I hooked up a software called SendGrid. SendGrid is one of the best ones out there, and then you can handle it with them directly, and then ClickFunnels will connect with them. And then these are your tracking codes. So if you go into the Facebook Pixel section inside the course, we're going to go over in that section how to install the Facebook Pixel and things like that. But this is the area where you would do it. If you want to share this funnel out, just like this is pretty much what I did for you. I gave you guys the link. You can go here. Stripe, if you're going to add payments. Zapier, which we've talked about in other lessons on how to get the leads from here to, let's say, your CRM or other things like that. It's an amazing tool. Definitely check out that lesson. Webhooks, way too advanced. We won't go into that now. And if you want to use PayPal and other things like that, you can do that here. Archiving your funnels, that would put it away, get rid of it. It's not active because on certain plans, you can only have so many active funnels. And then obviously your save and update settings. So let's go back into steps, because this is the main area where we're going to go into, and I want to show you the 3 steps that you're going to get inside this funnel when you import it. So over here on the left, you're going to have your funnel steps, and the first one is your opt-in. Second one is qualified. Third is thank you. You can name them whatever you want. So if you want to change the name, you would just click this little settings for this specific section. So right here obviously is opt-in and some crazy number. You can change it. You can change the path. Again, that is the part of the URL that they'll go to. But I want you to keep something in mind. So up here, you'll see you have the URL. So this is whatever domain you associated with it. Otherwise, ClickFunnels will let you pick one when you create your account, which you've probably done that already if you're at this point. And anything after it is the URL. So you can change this if you want. That's entirely up to you. And what you would just click on right here. This is the funnel step. So you have a step, and then you have variations of that page. So think about a step as the actual step, the step number, right? So the first one is your landing page. That would be your step, but then you would have the landing page in there, and you can have 2 different versions if you want, which I'll show you. So the funnel step name here, you see opt-in, you have opt-in here. You change that, it'll change there, and you can change the path, which is the default. So if you wanted to say, application, which is one I use all the time, update the funnel step, now you'll see it does it. And it automatically adds these characters at the end. So if you already have funnels in your account that have this same one, it obviously won't let you use the same one because it won't know which way to go. So it will add this stuff on the end. Probably for the first time, it's actually just going to say what you said, which was application. So now what I was saying before is you have these controls. So here's your control, which is when it comes to testing, you have a control and you have a variation. A control is the one that you're currently using, so the current landing page. And then if you create a variation, which is really cool, this is when you test, and you've heard me say it throughout the course, test, 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 test. This is how you test the landing page inside of ClickFunnels. So you can either create from a template, which will give you tons of different options, or a blank one to start with, or you can create a duplicate page of the one that's there, which is what we want to do. We want to test against what we already have. So this will create a variation of this exact page. So now what's really cool is you can split how much traffic you want going to it. If you click this button here, it'll start a split test, make it 50-50, and then you can apply your changes. And what that means is, let's say I have a headline here and I want to test a different one on this one. So really that's all I'm going to test is the variation. And you've heard me say this 100 times probably also, but always test one thing. If you're going to test a headline, just test the headline, whichever one wins. Get rid of the other one that was doing less, and then run another test. You don't want to run too many tests at once, so always test one thing. But so when I go here, I can see that maybe I want to change the headline on this one and test it out and see how it works. So I would do that, and I would click on apply changes, and that means now that 50% of the people that come to this, so if you're running an ad or they're coming from your Facebook page or wherever they're coming from, it's going to start splitting those people off. So one person's going to get the control, the next person's going to get the variation, and so on and so forth. So it's getting accurate data, and it can see based on those two headlines how many leads you got for that headline, right? So then what you would do is you would go up here to stats. And stats is going to give you a really cool little section, nothing crazy, but you can pick your start and end date. So if you have, you want to test something this week against another week, you can do that. If it's just a slow week naturally and you want to pick a different week to look at to get better stats on what's normal, you can do that as well. And then you're going to see here, it's going to give you this drop down. So these are your steps, just like we had before. You have your opt-in, your qualified, and your thank you. And then it's going to have the control and the variation. And if you add more, so let's say you remove one and you create a new one, it's going to start adding them here, but giving better names to it, like names that were actually on that one. So when this starts building up, you're going to see that the page views will start coming up, and this is the opt-in. So this is how many people opted in. So if you have a form on that page that's collecting information, you're running an insurance ad, and they come and they fill out the information and hit submits for you to get it. It's going to start calculating how many opt-ins. This is really cool because now you can see based on these two pages which one is getting the better opt-in rate. Maybe you're getting 20% of the people filling out on the control, but on the variation you're only getting 15. So now you know, all right, I'm going to turn off that variation. I have the control. Let me test another headline. Let me see maybe that one can work out better. And you'll see there's huge swings here. So this is something I recommend always. Always test, always test, always test. So I'm going to hop back to the steps here. And you'll see when we click on qualified, it's going to be the same screen. It's just going to show you the different landing pages or the pages that are on that step, right? So right now we don't have any tests here, but again, if you want, you can test it out. Maybe test having one with a few fields and maybe adding more. I know a lot of my clients say, I would like to add an email, an address, so I can actually give them a quote right off the bat. So you can test it and you can see, all right, when I have that one, or a lot of people not filling it out because it's too much information. Usually after 5 fields, we've noticed the conversion rate drops. So this is something to test, but always test these things out and see which one's working better for you. You might notice that if you add an address, you get more, or maybe it stays the same and now you just have way more information, but you would never know that if you didn't test. So you can do that. And then obviously the thank you page is the thank you step. And as they go through and start filling out pieces, that is how it's going to work. They're going to move on to the next step and the next step. Now, what you usually see online is most people just have an opt-in page, which is the landing page they go to, has some information, a form, and then they go to the thank you page. What I've done here, which is really cool, and I'm going to show you right now. So you can actually preview this. So this is the URL. So this is the real URL, right, of your landing page. So you can use this when you're running ads and it asks for the URL that you want to send people to. This is the one you would use. So you would copy this, paste it there, and when everybody comes, it's automatically going to move them to whatever's here. Automatically, you don't have to worry about any of that. Just copy this URL, put it in your ad, and you are good to go. So you can also preview right here. If you want to click this one, I'll show you how that works. You click on that little preview link and it's going to pop up the exact page people are going to see. But the best part is by doing that, you don't want to go to the actual URL. You want to click these previews because you don't want this information going into your stats. As you're building this and testing it out, you want to use the previews because you don't want it to look like people are opting in more on that page because you're actually the one going there. So by using the preview, it's actually not going to start counting your stats in there. So it's definitely the way to go and a quick way to preview things if you want to see how it looks. And you can share that link and use it on your phone and things like that. So what I want to do really quick is I'm going to show you how to edit these, but at the same time, I'm going to show you how I would run a split test and change the headline, right? So you're going to click on edit page. So you can edit each one individually. And now you get this really cool editor. So up top here, this means go back to that screen we were just on, your exit screen. This is your desktop view, and this is your mobile view. So it's almost building out a responsive landing page as well. It doesn't get too crazy. You can add additional styling if you're good with CSS and you know how to make things happen. I'll show you how to do that. But if you don't, which most people don't, it's very, very easy to see. If you click on mobile, you'll see what your page looks on mobile. And if you click on desktop, you'll see what your page looks like on desktop. You'll have some apps here. I wouldn't worry about that section. These are the settings of your page, right? So you have integrations, you have your SEO metadata. So if you know what that is, that just means when the browsers are going to this page and looking at it, which you don't have to actually let it even be shown in browsers, but if you wanted to, this would be your title that appears and your description and things like that appear on Google and the search engines and Facebook and wherever else this page is popping up on. Your tracking code, which we talked about in the other section. If you want to add custom JavaScript or you want to add a special tracker just to this specific page, you would do that here. Where I showed you before, you would do that for like a global. That just happens on every page, which is why I recommend putting the pixel in that section and not here. But if there's just something you want to put on a specific page to track it, you can do that here as well. And then you'll have your custom CSS, like I said, if you're really good. So here I just changed the font at a certain width, but this would normally be blank. It won't be when you obviously import this, but if you're good with CSS and you want to make some changes, you would do that here. Your background, this is just if you want to change the background of the entire page. Your typography, so if you want to change the fonts that are kind of global to the actual page itself and not specific, you can do that there. And then you have your general. So this is on submit, it goes to this page. If you leave it empty, it's going to do what it needs to do and just move on to the next step in the funnel. But if you want it to go somewhere completely separate and not go to that next page, you can put one in here. Digital asset, which we won't go into now, but if you're giving something out, like a free PDF to give me your email and I'll send you my free PDF, right? That would be somewhere you would hook a digital asset and it would automatically give it to them. And then the affiliate badge, I have it hidden. ClickFunnels likes to put a little badge on all the pages by default. Make sure you always go in and hide it unless you don't care and you want people clicking on it. And search engines. So this means, do you want the search engines to be able to actually index this page and put it in search results, or do you want it not to? Sometimes you don't want it to. You just want it to be a landing page that no one else can get to except for going through your ads, and you just don't want it linked to you. Otherwise, you hit show and the search engines will pick it up. And when people search, hopefully you'll pop up and get some free leads as well. So then up here on the top, you have a pop-up. It's not going to be in this section, but if you wanted to add a pop-up, so you'll click a button and sign up, and a form pops up, you would do that here. The settings for that pop-up are there. This is an undo button, so if you make a change and you don't want to keep that change, you don't like what you did, click undo and just keep clicking it and it'll go back. Sections, rows, columns, elements. Elements are the pieces on the page. So if you want to add an element, this is really cool. So you get headlines, you get subheadlines, paragraphs, bullet lists. Image pop-ups, you have videos, video pop-up, audio if you want to put it on there, buttons, Facebook opt-ins. They give you so many different things that you can use. A countdown timer, if you're running something, you say offer ends tonight, you can put a timer on there, stress emergency, if you want to use some icons. It's really, really cool. Play around with these. I'm not going to go into all of them right now because we have them on the actual page, so you'll see what they do. But definitely check these out, see what they do. They're really cool. And if you want to break it down just by like media and stuff, you can filter it here. Sections are these huge sections. So this is think of like a container, like a big wrapper around rows, which is the next piece, and columns, which are inside of it. So you have a section, which is the main container. You'll see it lights up green. You'll have your rows, which you could have multiple rows inside of a container. And then inside of those rows, you can have these these elements, right? Which we see here. So in this element, if I click on it, and it's super easy, guys. If I click on this, you just see you have all these different options you can just pick. So this is kind of like Microsoft Word or using any other tool that just makes it easy. You don't have to have any technical skills in order to build a web page inside of ClickFunnels, which is awesome. So you'll see right here that I clicked on this image. And if I click this little icon here, this is going to pull up all the images that I have inside my ClickFunnels account. But obviously, you could upload one here if you want to click upload. If you want to look for stock photography, they have it here. Pre-built backgrounds that are already inside of here for a section of a background. And, these are some stock photography things that you have in here, arrows, boxes, and things like that. And this is a map if you want to put a map on the screen. Searches, so if you want to search for a photo, let's say I'm looking for an elderly couple, right? I can just type in elderly, and I'm going to get images from Pixabay. I can click on Icon Finder, Unsplash, whatever it is, and they're going to actually give me free photos that I can use. So that's definitely a way to go if you want to build your page out and you don't have photos, you don't want to start paying for photos, definitely go in this route. So you can library, these are the ones that you have, again, inside your account. If I click, right now we have farmers insurance. So let's say I want to do this for Allstate. And again, these are in here just for some of my other clients, but if I want to hit Allstate, I hit add image up here, and now this image is an Allstate image. So if I click on it again, maybe I can say, all right, I want it to be a little bigger because this one's, right there, nice and big, so that you have your width, you have your height, you have the URL if you want to link that to somewhere. So let's say I have an image and I want to link it to another website or just a different page of mine, whatever you want to do, you can do that. Open in new forms. So again, I don't want to go into everything. You guys can play with this. You have different styles here if you want to have a little border around it. Otherwise, nothing. There's advanced if you want to add some cool animations, have it fade in. If you want to add borders, move it around left and right, grayscale it. Every different element that you can select has different settings. You can set the spacing from top to bottom. So your top margin, if you want alt text in there, if you're special with that. If not, don't stress a lot of these things. The goal is just to get a really nice page up and be able to test them, obviously, and obviously let people fill out the forms and move on, right? So that's pretty much that. I'm not going to go into everything, but you'll see here. Again, just like if you're familiar with WordPress or Microsoft Word, you can just pick bold or italic or underline or strike through, and you can make it go left or you can go center. If you want to link it, you can do that here. There's these little cogs on the top right-hand side you'll see of most sections, right? So rows have their own settings, which you'll see here. So this is for that whole row. If you want to have a background color, the width of it, the padding top and bottom, left and right. So this one, if you click on that little icon, you'll have, again, the font family. So if you want to change the font here, you have so many different options. So when I went up here before and showed you, that was more global to the page. But here you can change the font for specific things. And I'll just show you. You can click that if you like that font better. You can change the size. So you have mobile sizes here, and you also have the regular font size. So your font size is your desktop size, or on both. But if you want to specifically set a mobile size, you click here, and on mobile, it'll change that. Down here, I'm just going to skip these, and down here you have your mobile only, your desktop only, and hide. So what that means is maybe you have a piece of text that don't really look good, or an image or whatever it is that don't look great on mobile and it only looks good on desktop, and you want to just have it on desktop. If you click on desktop only, it will only show when people are on their desktops and not their mobile. So this is cool to know too. Maybe you want to just have two different ones, one that looks better on mobile and one that looks better on desktop. You make two, change the images, show one, hide one. Hide will hide it completely. So if right now you're like, you know what, I want to do a test to see if this image actually does anything to the page or not, or this text right here, this section actually does, you can hide it on one. This way you're not deleting it. You don't have to go back. You can hide it. And then if you go up here to your columns, which I'll show you, you'll be able to go down here and see, right, which they are. And then your elements, if you click manage, you'll see that you just scroll, you hover over them, and they'll just highlight through there. You can hide them from here. You can clone them if you want to duplicate it. You can delete this section right from here, and you can move them up and down, which is pretty cool. So as you can see, you don't need any technical skill. This is super, super easy, so I'm not going to go into all those sections. I think I've shown you kind of how to do it. I want to show you how to edit this page now. So you want to change any of this text. It is super, super simple. You want to say, are you a Texas resident? Look, obviously this is a home insurance one, but you can change this for anything. And how do people not know about this program? Would you like to get $20,000 towards your funeral expenses? Or new program for Texas residents only. Complete the short questionnaire. Try different headlines out. See what really works. And we've gone over this in the course, so I'm not going to go over headlines and things like that right now. There's tons of sections on it. Much better than I can give you right here. But I just want to kind of show you, so you can just pretty much change anything you want. You want to bold this maybe? Let's see. Make the 25% stand out. It only takes 30 seconds. So down here what we have is what I've put in. Not every page will have this. A lot of them won't. To me, what I've done here that really works is you're almost building up, using psychology, you're almost building up people's, they're getting excited. They're wondering if they're going to qualify, right? Now, everybody probably will qualify for whatever the insurance is. I mean, some people won't, right? And you can actually use that here to weed people out. So you're not just getting tons of leads and wasting your time on a call. To me, I love it. My clients love it, and you're going to love it. So if you have certain requirements that people can't have in order to get insurance or whatever it is that you are actually, selling, but I'm doing the insurance, so I'm going to stick to insurance examples. You can use that, and then you can say, sorry, you don't qualify, which I'll show you. So that's really cool. That's how you save your time, and you don't pull your hair out wasting your time on people that don't qualify, which I've seen a ton of people. And this is why what I'm trying to get through in this course is how we're going to get qualified leads, good qualified leads. I'd rather have less of those than more leads coming in that I'm just wasting my time on. So we're going to click this thing here, and it's pretty much just a survey. You know, we're using it differently, but think of it as a survey. So you can edit your survey options. So which is really cool. You have your questions up here, so you can manage your questions. So are you a California resident? Maybe you want to change the name of this to Texas. Maybe this doesn't even relate. The reason we have some of these questions in here, and I just want to keep this drilling this in, because I don't want you just to remove it and put questions that you want here. We're going to have a separate page for that where they're actually going to give you their info. What we're doing right here is just building them up. They're like, yes, I am. You know, that's really all we're looking for here. Are you a California resident? Maybe you're only qualified in that state. Again, you can weed them out. So if they say no, you'll see right here, you have these answer redirects. So you can just have end survey if you want. They don't qualify. Sorry, you do not qualify. Or you can have different things. So if they click an answer here, maybe it skips over to another one. This is really cool. I mean, you can build out this really crazy page right now with having them move around based on the answers they pick. But what I've done in this specific funnel is the goal here is just getting them to say, yes, 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 I am a California resident, right? We'll click back here. The next question, do you currently have home insurance? Now, most people that have homes do, but they might not, but it's fine. We're just getting them to say, yes, you qualify, right? So if you're selling home insurance, then maybe they're buying a home right now and they're just looking for insurance, right? So either way, they're probably going to qualify. Click on back. How much is your home worth? So we know that they're buying a house. It doesn't matter here. This is just getting them to fill it out and move through it and get to that point where they qualify. And you're still getting this information, so it's good information to have. But the goal is here is not to spend too much time trying to, drill them down and just ask for personal information. The goal here is quick, easy questions to move them through, right? And then you'll see here, as again, you can always have the directions. Play around with these if you want to add some cool thumbnails to it. Your radio styles, your subtitles, you can have all that in there, but I'm not going to go too crazy into this because you'll be able to play around. Triggers are actions taken instantly when a user answers a question. Trigger a Facebook pixel or a Google tag. So if you want to set up a Facebook pixel when they get to a certain step, so you're tracking how many people are getting through and where they're falling off, you can do that. Google Tag Manager, you're probably not going to need that. I don't have it set up. For this type of thing, it doesn't really matter. But if you have a survey and you want people, to know who's answering, so maybe you want to retarget those people based on their home value, you can do things like that, which is really, really cool. Again, completely advanced. I'm not going to go into that here. Here, I'm just showing you how to use this specific funnel. Outcomes. So this is the default action, and you can add them. And this is, like I was saying, if before it's no and they don't qualify, you can have a different outcome. So the outcome here, we'll click on it. It's going to say loading, then page redirect, right? So this is going to redirect them to the qualified page. So you can have different things, right? You can have hide the survey, submit the form, open a pop-up if you want, instant page redirect. What I'm doing is a loading, then page redirect. And what that means is it's going to show a loading bar to make it look like it's seeing if they qualify. So there's almost building up a little suspense. Again, the idea here is to pump them up, get them thinking, am I going to qualify? Because once they feel like they've qualified, even if everybody does, there's just this psychological thing behind it that makes them want to keep moving. All right, so you can change the text here, checking if you qualify. Again, play around with all these different things. You can have a progress bar to show them how far they are along. I always recommend that so they know there's only 3 questions and they don't think they're just going to sit here answering questions all day. Definitely helps out with conversions. And then there's just some more information here we don't have to worry about too much. So those are your questions. That is the survey that you'll go through here. And again, the next step would be that qualified page, which everybody gets to. So also up here you have the save. So every time you make a change, click on save, and you have to save it before you preview it. But you also have to hit save, otherwise those won't update and become live on the actual page when people go to it. So when we click on preview, which is really cool, I'm going to hit save here because we've changed this text, not anything crazy. But obviously you'll change it to try to get them to move along a little quicker. So anything cool that you have for headlines, change it. We just changed it just to show you how it works. And then if I click on preview, it's going to give me a preview of all my new changes of what the page these people will see and how they see it. And if you want to go down here, so now I'm going to show you exactly how this works, which is probably the best way to do it. So are you a California resident? Yes, I am. See how the progress bar moves? They know they're getting there. Do you currently have home insurance? I do. How much is your home worth? $100 to $250. You click that, checking if you qualify. Now the suspense is building up. Great news, you qualify. Now this is the next step, which I'm going to go into to show you how to edit these form fields. But how cool is this, right? So now they answered some questions. It wasn't anything that they had to give you, their personal information, just a couple of basic questions, and now they qualify. So now they're hyped up. They're like, yeah, where should we send your quote? And now they're going to give their info because they think they qualify. They think they're getting, so you'll see here, get your discounted quote now. They're not giving anything crazy, phone number, email. People are used to doing this. Zip code if you want to do that. Like I said, you can test out having one that's asking for this basic info and one that's asking for more. Obviously, the different types of insurance you're going to want. Are you a smoker? All those type of things are here. But I just want to show you how it's different from having a funnel like this where we're building people up and getting the excitement for them just going to, a Facebook pop-up form or them going to a landing page that just says, here's some info, give us your info, thank you, we'll contact you soon, right? This is just a different experience altogether, which is really fun. So now that we've saved it, we've edited it, we can go back here. And I forgot to actually hit apply on that split test. So you'll see right now, this one is still getting all the traffic. So you're going to hit start split test if this is what you're doing. If you don't even want to change it and you just want to leave the control, fine, but always change it. I would test it out. It really can't hurt. Just don't do anything drastic that you're going to, waste your money. But always test different headlines and things like that. I've seen it change it so much. And if I didn't do that, I'm telling you, a $100,000 funnel would have probably been a $20,000 funnel. That's how drastic these changes can be. So definitely test them. So now that you have it, you can switch. Maybe only 20% of the people you want to come to test this out right away, and you don't want to waste money sending half the people. I always like to send 50, get some real results in there, and make sure it's even, and you're getting solid data. But you can do that. So let's just switch this over here to 50%, and then click on Apply Your Changes. We're applying your changes now, and now it's set at 50. So now every time someone goes to this link, which I'll show you here, it's going to cache it. So it's not going to let them go back and forth because they don't want somebody seeing two different versions of a page. It's kind of weird, right? But when you go to this link, depending on when people are going to it, they're going to see one of the pages. So now this person saw the first one. I might be able to do the same thing here. All right, yeah, so it has me cached right now, so it's always going to show me this page, which is great because if you're testing things out, you don't want people to see something completely different every time they come to your page. You want it to be consistent. So I'll just skip that for now. But just so you know, when someone goes to the page, when two different people go to that page, one is going to get served this one, the next one's going to get served this one. Now, let's say you've tested these out and they're done, and you say this one's definitely the winner, and they're going to give you this cool little confidence score, how confident they are. They're using all this data of all the, hundreds of thousands or millions of funnels that people have, and they're using what they know works, but it's not always 100% accurate. So don't just go like, oh no, I don't think it's going to work, I'm not going to test it. Definitely test it because it's not always right, but it gives you a little bit of an indication. So if you want to pick a winner, you can go over it. You can click declare as winner. And what that is going to do is that is going to make this one your control, or it would just leave this as your control and get rid of this one. And it's going to move it down, and then you'll get a nice little list under here. So you'll see if I say declare this one as the winner. I tested it. It's way better. That's the one I want to run with now as my main one. Now you have your archive pages, so you have them here. And you can restore it if you want. If you always want to retest it again, you can do that, maybe at a different time, different audience, whatever it is. But it'll always build you the list, and now this is our main one. So maybe we can create a test against this one and see if that one actually does better, right? But that's it. I'm done talking about that for now. We'll talk about that in other sections of the course. But now we're going to move on to the next page, which is the qualify page that we saw that popped up, right? So now you see it here. You can change it, obviously, just like we did before. Change images, do whatever you have to do. And this form, it's automatically built out. So you don't have to get crazy with forms. It's set up right now to submit this page. But if you want to, let's say, change the button text, you can do that over here. So you click on the button. Opt-in button pops up. You can set the action. I wouldn't mess with these, but if you want to maybe have it go to another page or do something, you can do that and set action, which I'll show you here. There's options, Facebook opt-in, go to a website URL, go to the next step in the funnel. Like I said, that's usually what you'll do if you want them to move along and you have multiple steps. You can do that, and it's not submitting a form. Scroll to a section on the page, you can do that. Hide and show something. There's so many different things you can do, right? But right now what we're looking to do is get them to fill out this form and then submit it. So it says submit the page. Enter your full name. So this is one of the fields. You'll see over here you have your placeholder text, which pops up inside of here. The input type is full name. So you have these preset ones that it's going to be nice because these are connected to a ClickFunnels contact. So when you use these, it'll automatically populate those fields. So when you have your contacts, it's always storing them in the same spot. It's pretty much standard for all the basic information you're going to get for someone. But if you're asking for something like, do you smoke? Obviously, it's not here. You would pick on custom type, and then you would just type a name for it. Don't just go crazy here. Always make it so it's small, it's simple, but you understand it. So, right, you can just type in here, smoker. And then when you export any of this contact data or you look at it, it's going to say smoker, and then whatever the option is or whatever they entered will go there, right? So now you can make it as this field required. There's different options you can do here, right? As you can obviously see, you can change the theme. So if you want to change the style, you'll see it updating here, light gray, 3D gradient, whatever you love. It really doesn't matter. Just go whatever style you like, and that's pretty much that. So I'll just switch it back, and that's it. So now let's say you want to add another one. So you'll see now that you have these top right sections, but you also have this bottom add new element, and that's going to let you add something else in a place. Now don't worry, you can always click this move and drag them around and reorder them if you want, and you can click on add new element, and we'll go down here and you will see, or you can click right here on the right and get form, and these are going to give you your options. So you can have a select box, which is like a yes or no, or you can have multiple options in there that they can select from. You can have an input, which is obviously what these are, text area if you want to let them type in a paragraph, checkbox, whatever it happens to be, an SMS sign up if you want to get their phone number and actually have that going forward, that they can you can set it up to send a text automatically after they fill it out. That is an option. A survey, which you saw we used before. So let's say we want to use the select box, right? And we'll use the do you smoke thing as an example before. So input type, and you can have this populate too. So if you want to just have countries or whatever it is, custom options is what we're going to use. So it would be input name, smoker, value yes, text yes. You can add a new option, no, and obviously this could be for whatever you want, right? If it's required, yes or no. They have to tell us if they're a smoker or not. Maybe they don't. I'm just saying these are the options, and that's it. So when they come to this page now, it'll say, are you a smoker? And they could answer that as well. I'm just going to capitalize it here so you can see. All right, but you can put, do you smoke, whatever you want to, whatever the terminology is, right? And obviously change the style of it. You can do it to match. So we have this, we've been going with this style here. Now it obviously matches. And we can hit save. And that's pretty much it. And it's automatically going to collect this data for us when people fill it out. So again, you can see no technical knowledge. You just pretty much add a field, put in the information that you want, the data behind it, and that's it. It's just going to start filling these out and giving you this information. So we'll click on preview. And now we have that field here. So you'll see you have yes or no. So what I was actually going to say is I forgot to tell you that too. These fields don't have text like these do because these have placeholders. So what you'd probably want to do is just hit add a new element. You can put a paragraph, subheadline, headline. Let's say subheadline, and you can put do you smoke, right? And you can push it to the left, and you can style it up, and that would be the way to do that. And then just put it above. So you have this form, do you smoke? And again, you can style it, you can make it crazy, but I just want to kind of show you that. So we'll hit save. You can either hit preview again, or if you have the tab open already, you can just go to it and refresh it. And now you have the do you smoke, yes or no? And when someone fills this out, now you'll be getting that information on do they smoke or not. So that's really, really cool. Let me just kill some of these. And that's that. So you can save that again. You could test it. Like I said before, you want to test out different fields, whatever you want to test. And the last page is the thank you page, self-explanatory. You can go in, you can edit it, but it's pretty much just saying thank you. If you wanted to use that calendar form, thank you for submitting information. If you want to book a call, you can do it right here, and we'll go on to that in another section as well. But this is your thank you page. So this is the last page they'll see. You can put whatever you want here. You can put a picture of yourself, a phone number if you want them to be able to call you right away and get their quote. Whatever it happens to be, you can put on this page. But this is the last page in the funnel, and that is it. So this is pretty much how you use ClickFunnels to get that funnel that I gave you into your account and make the changes to it. So obviously we went on a little ways because I had to show you how to do everything, but you can see that realistically you can click that button and within a few minutes you can have this funnel up and running. You can have a link to it, which again, it'll automatically build this for you if you don't want to buy a new domain, and you can run a Facebook ad to it or put it on your Facebook page and share it out. And within a few minutes, you can literally have a lead collecting funnel working, up and running, and shareable on your page or to use in ads or anything else. All right, so in future lessons, I'll go over how to do certain things inside of ClickFunnels because obviously it's a huge application. There's so much you can do, but really that is all that you need to do. Really, you can click on contacts up here as people start filling out the forms, and this will start populating. It'll give you the contact. You can click on them. You can download them. You can even set it up, which I'll show you actually here. So when you go to the opt-in, you'll have the automation, and automation means this will automatically happen when people do things on these specific steps. So when people opt in, what is going to happen? So maybe you don't want to get an email right off the bat for the first page because you're just asking a couple of questions, but you want to go to the qualified page because this has the form. Click on automation, and this is what will happen when they fill out that form and click submit. So you can have a new action. So we'll just put a name here, submitted the quote form. This would be condition, always put everyone, but this is the new funnel action. If you want to delay on when this happens, usually you don't because it's an email and you want to get back to these people quickly, so do not put a delay. ClickFunnels internal, these are if you have different versions or higher levels of ClickFunnels, you get different options here, but just go with everyone that fills it out, pretty much saying ClickFunnels is the program that's going to power it. And what do you want to do? Do you want to add them to a list? You can do lists in here and things like that. If you use your own CRM and you want to worry about it there, which I do, you can go that route. But what we're looking for here is email notification. So what this is pretty much saying is every time someone fills out that form, ClickFunnels is going to send me an email, and this is the email I want to notify. So you punch the email in here, click on create funnel action, and sometimes don't refresh. You got to refresh the page, but you'll be able to see here that now there's a notification that's going to come to you with the information. It's automatically going to take everything that they have filled out. So the first page, those 3 questions they went through, and then the form, the information there, and it's going to send you an email with all that information instantly. Now you could do other things. So maybe you want to have an email go to that person when they fill out this form, so they're getting an instant response. You can do that as well. You could put from your name, the subject, thank you for filling it out. And this is automatically going to send to them. You don't even have to know their email. It's going to handle that as well. So you could say condition. Again, it's everyone. Now, different funnels have different options. Like if you're running a webinar, it might say people who showed up but didn't make it to the end, or people who missed the offer, or whatever it is. But right now, it's just obviously everyone. You can type in your email, create an email, and then every time someone goes through it, it's automatically going to send this email to them, and you're also going to get a notification email that you got it. So it's just a really, really cool way to do things so easily without having to use any extra software. Again, like I said, I'm a developer by heart. I can pretty much build anything, apps, websites, whatever I want to do. But for me, ClickFunnels just makes things so easy, and it saves me so much time that to me it's worth whatever the $97, whatever happens to be for the plan that you have every single month. And you can see that here. All right. So if you have any questions, just, either wherever this is, if it's on Facebook, just send some comments, send me a message, or email me, whatever it is. You know how to get a hold of me, and I'll help you out any way I can. All right. That's it for this one. I will see you in the next lesson.